Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this is my first upload in over a month. I did take a break. I did actually get married and I did a lot of traveling, and I do feel recharged and ready to get back in the trenches with you guys. So if you're excited for that, please go down, smash up the like button. You don't know how much it means to me to just get one like on a video, as I'm a small YouTuber just getting started off. So if you get any value out of these videos, please go down and smash up that like button. So as you've probably noticed, the markets haven't been that much exciting over the past few months. They're probably known as the summer doldrums. But I'd advise you to take some time off, go out, maybe touch some grass, as they say, and recharge, because the market can depress you, and if you're just sitting all day staring at charts, it's just not healthy for your mentality. So before we dive into this video, I just want to make it clear that whatever I say in this video is not financial advice, and I advise you to do your own research before you buy any cryptocurrency. So here we have the Bitcoin chart. Now, as you can see, it did put in an all-time high there in the middle of March of this year, and for the past several months it just has been chopping in this downwards channel. So we did see this big cascading wick back on the 5th of August, and this was due to the Japanese carry trade. So there has been a lot of uncertainty in the market. We'll go through it in this video and I'll explain why the price action has been so boring. But as we look at the Bitcoin price, as you can see, price action now is currently under the bull market support band. So usually when it's in a bull market, we'd like to see price action above this support band. So as we go back to the previous cycle here, so we did see explosive price action over this bull market support band, and we did see it dip under it then during the summer months of the previous bull run. And it did remain under this for quite some time until it came back above this and it put in a double top. Now, if we go back to the current price action here, we did see it explode. Literally, it was back in October of 2023. And we did see some very explosive price action. Now, as the price action stands, we currently see that the price action is under this bull market support band, and we also see that price action is currently fighting with the 200-day moving average, and now it's kind of so this 200-day moving average is actually acting as resistance. So I see it actually acted as resistant here, and eventually it got through it, burst over both the bull market support band and the 200-day. But now it fell back through it again, and now it's fighting at resistance at this 200-day moving average. So overall, what can I say? Price action is very, very boring, and it is not exactly what we want to see. Same goes for Ethereum. So Ethereum price action, it actually looks quite worse than Bitcoin. We did see this explosive candle back in May when there was announced that we're going ahead with the Ethereum spot Ethereum ETF, and but since then the price has retraced and now is even gone below it. So this is obviously not very good. Now, the reason for ETH's sell-off is due to Grayscale. So Grayscale has been selling off from its Ethereum trust. Obviously that converted to an Ethereum ETF. So that is the main cause of the Ethereum sell-off. Now, if we just go back to Bitcoin, Bitcoin did wick down to 48K, and it did flush out all this liquidity here. So I do feel that this price action should probably hold, as you see this big, but what I like to see is that this wick completely was bought back up again. So it looks like the price was manipulated, and it's just the long-term buyers of Bitcoin keep buying up the supply from short-term holders. So I also like to look at the moon phases. So now I know a lot of people laugh at this indicator. They think it's not reliable, but if you go back and back test it, it does give you an edge. It is right about 67% of the time. So if you look at the chart here, on a new moon, it tells you to sell off. So it was correct here. It was correct here. You could say it was kind of correct here. And then it also was correct here as well too. And it did predict this Japanese sell-off as well too. Now we do have a full moon coming next Monday. So will it be interesting to see how price action will react. So as moving forward, I do suspect that Bitcoin will just chop in this downwards channel, probably move back to the upwards of this channel. But I do suspect that the rest of August and maybe September will be quite boring. So just moving on to Twitter, I did see this tweet from Benjamin Cohen. I do like to follow this guy. He keeps me in check. He has been very bearish throughout the last 2 years. He's a bit of a Bitcoin maxi. So for the last 2 years, he's been saying that you're better off just keeping all your money in Bitcoin and waiting for the Bitcoin dominance to retrace before buying up altcoins. So this would be correct if he's just talking about altcoins that have been around for the previous cycle. But he has been wrong if you take into account newer altcoins that haven't seen a bull run yet. So those altcoins have seen some serious growth, especially meme coins. So I did put out this tweet during the week. So not every August, September is red for Bitcoin, but statistically, they are the worst 2 months on average. So he also did put out a video last week talking about the Bitcoin dominance and the final stretch. So if you do watch this video, he's basically just talking about how he predicted that the Bitcoin dominance would reach 60% and then eventually retrace, and then it would return into altcoin season. So basically, as Bitcoin dominance is moving up, that means most altcoins would bleed against Bitcoin. And once it tops out and the Bitcoin dominance chart is on a retrace, that means that altcoins will outperform Bitcoin. So if we do look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, so it has been following this trend line here. It has been showing signs of weakness over the past few months, but now it has been back above this trend line and is showing strength again. And as you can see, as I marked out in this line here, it did top out at the 7.7%. So in regards to Benjamin Cohen, he is hats off to Benjamin. He is correct, and looks like it is going to make its way back to 60%. So all in all, Benjamin is saying that the Bitcoin dominance is on its final stretch, and eventually there will be an alt season. So I also did see this tweet from Miles Deutsche. We are entering the apathy time capitulation phase again. In the last 2 weeks, crypto YouTube views are down 30%. Coinbase app ranking is down from 159 to 502. Trading volume is down minus 21% on Binance. So strap in, things are getting boring. So usually towards the end of the summer, a lot of people are taking time off, traveling, and the main hedge funds as well too are obviously taking a break as well too. So usually this is a boring time of the markets, and usually things will start to pick up maybe the end of September. So Miles Deutsche also tweeted this as well too last week. So this feels eerily similar to August to October last year. Retail interest is evaporating fast. YouTube views have fallen off a cliff over the past week. Apathy amongst existing market participants, lack of clear narratives, and the Bitcoin price action looks identical too. So if you do take a look at this graph that he posted, so he's just comparing last year of 2023, saying it's very, very similar to now of 2024. So I just thought this was interesting, and I thought I'd bring it to your attention. So just moving on here, breaking news, US inflation falls to 2.9%, lower than expectations. So the CPI data came out last Wednesday. So it was predicted to come in at 3%, but it came in at 2.9%. Now this is good overall because we obviously want to see inflation come down. So the Federal Reserve target is 2%. So it's slowly and surely making its way to its design target of 2%, which is very, very good because we want to see the Federal Reserve to cut rates. Once the Federal Reserve cuts rates, this makes money cheaper to borrow. So in theory, this is very good for the economy. It stimulates growth. So it's a lot easier to borrow money for businesses so they can invest and create more jobs. and just creates more cash flow in the economy. So also then on last Thursday, we did see the US stock market rebound continued after positive developments, including stronger than forecasted July retail sales, lower than expected weekly initial unemployment claims, and strong earnings from Walmart. Although we did see a sell-off in the S&P 500, roughly around the same time of when we seen the end of the Japanese carry trade. So we did see a huge sell-off of the S&P 500. It did wick down to 5,100 level, but since then it's back up again. So if we just get out my measuring tools, so it's back up like 9% roughly. So that's very, very good. But obviously stocks and crypto has been very uncorrelated recently, which is very, very strange. Usually they correlate. But if we do look at the ETF flows for Bitcoin, so the inflows have been very, very stagnant. We have seen some outflows and inflows over the last week, but majority, the inflows have been very, very small. So I think this is just due to the summer doldrums. Like a lot of people are just taking time off. A lot of people are just uninterested in the market. And the same with the Ethereum ETF. We're seeing a mass sell-off for Ethereum due to Grayscale. So Grayscale, very similar to when the Bitcoin ETF started, we've seen Grayscale selling lots from ever since they converted their trust to an ETF. And because their fees are very, very high, a lot of people are getting out of the Grayscale ETF and they're just selling out of it, which is obviously not good for price action. So as you can see from this post here, breaking news, Apple opens NFC payment chip to third parties for the first time, making Bitcoin and crypto tap to pay on iPhone possible. So this is obviously very, very good for long-term price action for crypto. So this is obviously very, very good for crypto long-term. So the fact that Apple are getting behind it, and you can tap to pay with your crypto on your iPhone is very, very good. So also we have a lot of uncertainty in the market. So as you can see, as you may know, that the WHO came out last week and they did announce that the monkeypox is now a pandemic. And it did originate in Africa, but now we have seen cases in Sweden. So Sweden confirms first case of Mpox and global outbreak. The announcement comes on the same day that the WHO declared Mpox a global public health emergency for the second time in 2 years, following an outbreak in the Dominican Republic of Congo that has spread to other countries. Health Minister Jacob Forssmed reported that the case in Sweden involves the more severe Clade 1 type of Mpox. So obviously this is definitely not good for the markets. The markets do not like uncertainty, and people are worried that we might go back into lockdowns again, which is obviously not good. But if this does happen, I'm sure this is just a perfect excuse for all governments across the world to print money and to stimulate the economy. I remember before the previous bull market, there was a huge sell-off because when COVID came out, there was a big mad scare and Bitcoin dropped dramatically. But then all the governments around the world started printing money and handed out stimulus checks, and that was the precursor to one of the biggest bull runs we've ever seen. But hopefully this doesn't come to this and will resolve quickly. Because I remember back last summer when they first had the Mpox scare, but it did kind of resolve itself. So we just have to wait and see. We also have uncertainty in the Middle East. So Iran now are starting to get involved in the conflict against Israel, and they were going to retaliate. They did make out a statement that they would retaliate by Friday, which was yesterday, but nothing has happened since. So it's all up in the air. We don't know how this is going to progress. Hopefully we will see peace in the Middle East very, very soon. But at the moment now, it's very, very shaky situation. Here we have the US national debt, and as you can see, it's now over $35 trillion. So in my opinion, this is obviously not very good, but we're in the situation where the US government, they're going to have to cut rates because they have to refinance this debt, and they're not going to refinance it. They're not going to refinance the debt while rates are above 5%. So we do have lots of rate cuts coming in the near term. The first rate cut is forecasted to be sometime towards the end of September. And I think that's when you probably see some good price action in the markets, and that's obviously a good time because the summer doldrums will come to an end. A lot more people will be participating in the markets. So hopefully we will see some good price action then. So this is obviously in line of what I'm talking about. So this is the M2 money supply has broken out. So central banks are juicing markets with liquidity for a blow off top in small caps and derivatives. So obviously you can see here in this chart, it is the M2 money supply is breaking out. So obviously when you have more money in the market, obviously Bitcoin and cryptos and all risk assets is a reflection of liquidity. So the more liquidity in the market, the more money goes into risk assets. So that obviously will pump the price of Bitcoin and our beloved altcoins. So just moving on here. So this is just to give you an idea of the trades that I'm looking at now. So I still have my long-term bags. I did take some profits on them. Mainly just took out my initial investment. But other than that, now I'm just sitting on my hands. I haven't been doing much day trading over the past couple of months as I did take some time off. But I did put out this tweet here at the start of the week. CPI data came in lower than expected, which is bullish long term. Rate cuts will probably start in September. BTC has started to sell off due to people taking profits. So BTC did sell off. I think it was just because I think a lot of people predicted that the CPI data was going to come in lower than expected. So we did see the initial run up, and then when the CPI data came out, a lot of people were just taking profits. So I'm starting to load up on Phantom, so FTM. So I did. So I'll just go to the FTM chart here. So I did buy some spot ETM roughly at 33 cents. Now I haven't taken a long on ETM because I do feel that price action might come back into this golden pocket here between the 0.5 and the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement. So I'm just keeping a close eye on that. Price action has been very, very strong on FTM. So a lot of people are starting to buy into this. Now, I'm sure the reason is because FTM, so Phantom are rebranding to Sonic. So Sonic is a new parallelized EVM. So it's a lot faster. I think they have something like 10,000 transactions per second. So this will gain lots of attention when they do make the transition. Phantom has been known for its DeFi protocols, so I'm sure. So once this happens, you will see some great price action from Phantom, and Phantom always does really, really well in a bull market. Now I don't know the exact date from when this rebranding is going to take place. They did say sometime in the summer. So I do believe that they're probably waiting for the price action for the Bitcoin price to recover before they actually announce the actual date. But definitely keeping an eye on this one. And at the price levels where it's at now, I do think it's a bargain. And I think once the market rebounds, Phantom will do really, really well. So I did post this tweet here a few days ago. So when Bitcoin put in its new all-time high back in March of this year, I really did feel that this was going to be a left translated cycle. My thesis was Bitcoin and the altcoin market would rip aggressively to new all-time highs, and the cycle would end at Q4 of this year. I still feel that we will have a bullish Q4 and I will be taking profits accordingly, but the blow off top probably won't happen until 2025. So what I've noticed being investing over the last few years is you have to have an open mind when it comes to trading. So my thesis now, I'm starting to shift my mindset. So I did believe that this was going to be a left translated cycle. I thought it was going to be very, very aggressive. And I thought then there'd probably be a huge sell-off towards the end of the year, roughly maybe around when the presidential elections will take place. And as we go to the presidential elections, we do see on Polymarket that Kamala Harris has been beating Trump, which was quite strange because Polymarket is a crypto betting site. And we all know that Trump is probably the better candidate, but he has a better outlook on cryptocurrency compared to Kamala Harris. But Kamala Harris's views have changed slightly over the last couple of months. I think it's due because she just wants to get the crypto vote as well as Trump. But overall, in my opinion, I probably think Trump would be better for the crypto space long term, as he's vice president's candidate JD Vance. JD Vance is known to be very pro crypto and actually holds Bitcoin publicly. He also holds some NFTs and altcoins as well too. So if I had to choose, I probably would choose Trump, because I do think he'd be better for the crypto space. But it is quite strange to see that Harris has been doing better in the polls over the last few weeks. But recently, I did see this tweet earlier on today. Trump has some positive movement on Polymarket. His poll did pump like 3% today, while Harris came down by 2%. So it is pretty much neck and neck. So this again is just uncertainty in the market. So a lot of people are feeling probably very uncertain when it comes to the presidential election. So overall, we do have a lot of uncertainty in the markets, especially when it comes to the Bitcoin price and the summer doldrums. So in my opinion, we're not going to see any price action until we do see a cut from the Federal Reserve. So in my opinion, this will probably start in the end of September. We also have uncertainty with the conflict that's happening between Israel and Iran. Overall, I am sitting on my hands. I'm happy to be back making videos. I try and pump out a few videos a week. But overall, I'm very, very bullish for end of year. And I do think 2025 will be promising as well also. So if you got value out of this one, please go down, hit the like, make my day, and I will see you in the next video.